Good morning. Welcome to a beautiful Wednesday morning for meditation. Today we're going to continue with embodied prayer. Last time we practiced breathing and paying attention to the air moving past the end of our nose and down through our airway and then again back out, paying attention to how it feels. This practice helps to calm the mind and help you to let go of some of the daily irritations and frustrations that we all face so that we can enter into a better space for meditation. Today we're going to practice that again, but we're going to add a next step to it. And that is, even though your mind is calm, you may find yourself being distracted by different thoughts going in different directions. So we're going to practice bringing those thoughts together into a focal point to allow us to gather ourselves, essentially. So just take a little moment of space to enjoy God's creation today, and then we'll begin. All right, sitting comfortably or standing. Find a place where your body feels comfortable in itself, where you're not holding on to a lot of stress anywhere. Release those muscles that are kind of trying to hold your ears, your shoulders close to your ears. Let those drop a little bit. Relax your face, around your eyes and mouth. And just find a space of comfort with your own body. And then I want you to just begin by taking a deep breath in and notice the air moving past your nose and down into your lungs. And then as you let it out, notice it just going through that, reversing that track. And just continue to breathe fully but comfortably, not uncomfortably. You're not trying to expand your lungs all the way, just trying to take a nice full breath. And if you're more comfortable breathing out through your mouth, that's fine. Just notice how your breath moves through your mouth. And we'll just breathe for a minute. Just get calm, quiet our minds. As your mind calms, you may find that your thoughts are being pulled in a lot of different directions. And so what we're going to do with those is, on the next inhale, I want you to imagine bringing all those thoughts into a little ball inside, sort of a reverse Big Bang. And then as you breathe out, I want you to just let those thoughts go back out again like a Big Bang. So we're going to be doing the Big Bang back and forth here a little bit. So take a deep breath in, bringing all those thoughts inside into a focal point of energy. And then when you breathe out, blow those all out. It may be easier for this part for you to breathe in through your nose. That feels like you're collecting, and breathing out through your mouth, blowing them out again. So we're going to do that for a few minutes. Just imagine all those thoughts coming together and coalescing into a single focal point. And now I just want you to practice that quietly for a minute. Imagine those thoughts coming in, and at the peak of your breath, resting in a little ball as a focal point, and then blow them out on your exhale. Thoughts coming in, thoughts going out. Your to-do list, little aggravations, the driver who cut you off on the way in, the clerk who was rude to you, or maybe the clerk that you were rude to. Just bring all those things in together in a single point, and then blow them out. And continue practicing. Now next week, when we move to step 3, we're going to have to hold that ball of energy inside. So I want you to practice just breathing in and out and not releasing all the thoughts, just holding them in that spot. Just each time you breathe in, gathering in more of your various distractions, pulling them in and then holding them in that point of energy, but make sure you're breathing. So really what we're doing is we're trying to practice pulling them in, holding something, and breathing out, which can be a little tricky. So we're going to practice that for a couple minutes. So it kind of goes like this. Breathe in, hold everything in a focal point, visualize that maybe as a ball of energy, and breathe out without letting that ball of energy go. And then breathe in, bringing more things into the ball of energy, and breathe out, still holding on to that ball of energy. And we're going to do that for a minute to just try to make sure we have all our scattered thoughts together. And to hold that in, you may find it easier to exhale through your nose. And to pause just a second at the top of that breath. And remember, that ball of energy holds kind of the negative distractions, the driver cutting you off in traffic, but it should also be balanced with some positive distractions. Maybe it's the birds singing, or the person who is pleasant to you this morning, the clerk who had a special hello and a big smile for you, or finding out some good news. That's wonderful news, but you are still having to focus on other things. So that ball of energy isn't all negative energy. It's negative and positive and neutral energy, just kind of coming in and settling here. Now, this week we're not going to work with that ball of energy, and I don't want it just sitting there to just explode later in the day. So before we close, we're going to take just a few minutes of breathing in through your mouth and blowing out, or breathing in through your nose and blowing out through your mouth, and breaking up that ball of energy. So I want to have a little bit of a big bang going on here. So I want you to visualize all those distractions and different thoughts that you have going right back out, because they're all things we've got to deal with. We can't pack them away in a little box. That's not a healthy practice. And next week we're going to do something with that ball of energy. So we'll recreate that next week, and then I'll show you how to do something with that. And I encourage you to practice these 2 steps of calming your mind and bringing your distractions into a focal point of energy. And then we'll figure out what to do with that later. But for now, let's get rid of that ball of energy that's just going to build up speed and energy until we release it. So let's release that now. So taking in a deep breath through your nose, blow out through your mouth, blowing all those things right back out where they belong, where we have to deal with them today. So breathe in and blow them out. And now we're going to do that a couple times just to make sure that we've released that energy. So in and out. In and out. And one more time. And I encourage you today, now that you've gathered in those distractions and blown them right out back again, to try working on dealing with them one thing at a time. Our society prides itself on multitasking. There's actually been some studies of brains, and it's not true that men can't multitask and women can, and it's not true that we can all multitask. Actually, none of us are multitasking. We're moving rapidly from one thing to another, but your brain can really only focus on one thing at a time. And that moving from one thing rapidly to another is what gives us a sense of a lack of peace and a feeling of busyness. So try hard to figure out what those things are that you really need to deal with today, and take them one thing at a time. I'm kind of a to-do list person because I love to mark things off my list. But I find if there's something that's nagging at me that I don't really have time to deal with right now, even if it's something pretty minor, like, well, this isn't minor to the birds, but feed the birds. Not a big deal. It's low-hanging fruit, but I need to finish something else first. I'll write it down, so that way it's not in the back of my head saying, oh my goodness, I need to feed the birds. I need to feed the birds. I have it written down. So for some people, a to-do list works really well. And for others, just the practice of kind of focusing in on a single thing and letting the others wander on their own is possible, and a practice that they're able to do. So find a way to just manage one thing at a time today. Find a way to resist the temptation of multitasking and see if that makes your day a little better. And as we move through embodied prayer, I think that you'll find that it's important for your body, for you to do one thing at a time and focus on one thing at a time. And I'm hopeful that this practice will help you with that. So thank you for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And may you find God in creation today and every day.